There's only one authorized online source for you to get a free copy of your credit report once every 12 months. It's annualcreditreport.com. Please beware of other sites claiming to offer the same service. They're probably scams. Log on to annualcreditreport.com. It is the one and only authorized source for your free annual credit report. A message from the Federal Trade Commission and your financially conscious friends at KAOS.
And you're listening to Make No Bones About It, and you just heard Cathedral Lake Singers, and that one was the Veterans Memorial song, and wanted to send that song to all our veterans out there. And I am reminded every day should be honoring Veterans Day and those that have served. And for myself, just knowing that I've had this talk on Friday at my job, just that Native people are the most served ethnic group in the United States military, and I just, a lot of people don't know that. And I remember talking to an elder once and said that U.S. history, military history is our history. So my hands go up to all the veterans that paved the way, and those that continue to pave the way for us to be here on this land. And I actually got some guests in the studio, and it's your daughter was cracking me up, Denny, because I said, your father's coming in. She goes, I'll see him on Thursday. I'll let him know. He used to have a secretary, you know.
I know.
I said, but that's good. I saw him at the memorial for Uncle Billy, and we chatted. And I know that you say you're retired, but we all know the truth that you're not retired. And but you have a gallery show coming. I know that you probably had one. First of all, congratulations on your award on Thursday.
Thank you.
And I'll first give you guys a chance to introduce yourself, and we'll talk a little bit about some of the things that are coming up in your life. I'm excited, so thanks for coming in.
My name's Denny Hurtado, and my Indian name is Tahltan Ashton. I'm a Skokomish tribal member, and I live on the Skokomish Indian Reservation. And with me today is a special guest.
Good afternoon. My name is Lynn Dennis, and I'm a member of the Lummi Nation and the Tahltan Band of British Columbia, and also owner of My Tribe TV. And so very happy to be here and excited about the upcoming show that we're going to share with all of you today.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you both for being here. And so for those of us that don't know, that Denny's also a photographer among many other things, and I know that you've been collecting images and things for a long time now, and so I want to talk a little bit about your show that's coming. I believe it's at the Centennial Accord that's coming
Correct.
up. Yeah.
Well, first let me start by saying that I got involved in photography when I was a junior in college, and I had befriended a Chinese guy. His name is Hoover Ng, and he was a photographer already. And so we started hanging out, and he started getting me interested in it, and kind of turned me on to E.S. Curtis, who is a well-renowned photographer back in the day. And so I was looking at his stuff, and I was thinking, well, I could do the same thing, but from a native perspective. And so I started getting involved in photography in 1970. And off and on since then. When I had the money, I didn't have the time. When I had the time, I didn't have the money. Now I don't have either, but I'm still going to do it. But so I've been taking pictures all these years in Indian country, around Indian events, Indian people, Indian gatherings. And so I probably have like 40,000 images I have to go through. But the upcoming show here at Evergreen State College will be on the canoe journey, and the title of the show will be a Cultural Revival, the Canoe Journey. And it's pictures that I've taken. My first photos were taken, actually was the paddle to Seattle, but I never could find the rolls of film of that day that I took pictures of, and that's kind of where we really started reviving the canoes in the Northwest. And so my first photo images was in 2002 in Quinault. And so I've been taking all the canoe journeys in the United States. So from 2002 to 2013, excluding the Canadian paddles, will be in the show. So there's 9 years of images. They limited me to 40 images. I had to pick from 6,000 to about 200, and then from the 200 to 100, then down to the 40. So that's basically what this upcoming show is about. And it's kind of cool. It's going to be in conjunction with the Centennial Accord, which is an event that happens in our state between the tribes and the Washington state government, the governor and all her chief of staff, and all the high mucky-mucks in the state side, and all our tribal leaders on the tribal side. So that'll happen on June 18th. So we're going to have the show on the 17th, but I'm going to let Lynn talk about that part of it because she's handling the reception and the opening and all that. So
all right. So just first, it's really hard to take all those photos and narrow it down to 40. I mean, it's a hard process because every one of them is your baby,
right?
And
right.
So to get it down to that process, you had to have a lot of help.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's where I came in because he went through the photos first, and then when it came down to probably about maybe 65 photos, then I came in and helped him narrow it down to 40 photos. So, that was quite a challenge because there's a lot of nice photos. But, the photos really tell the story of the canoe journey, and it's very gratifying and heartfelt. And also to know that it is a revival of our culture, and to see all ages involved. And I think also what's important is that for example, the photo show, that's a sharing of the canoe journey, but also the bigger picture is a sharing of our people, our Native people, and sharing it with the general public. And we really encourage the general public to come to this photo show, and yes, I'm working on the welcoming reception, which is going to be on June 17th, beginning at 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. and we've been working with Tina Miller here at Evergreen State College, and it'll be at the Longhouse, so we're very excited. And then we'll have the showing that evening, and then also the next day here at the Longhouse, and then the exhibit will be traveling over to Squaxin Island to their museum. And so the exhibit will be there, and we have been working with the director there, Charlene Price, and we're very excited about it, and I think it's going to be a really good show. So we've been working on the captions for the photos, and what we have wanted to do is to really give people the experience of the canoe journey. So not only of being out in the canoes, but also there's vendors, there's the songs during the whole week of the canoe journey that we'll be sharing, and just what happens at the canoe journey. So we're very excited.
Yeah, and so that many, again, going back to that many photos, and you're reliving all these events, both of you, when you're looking at these folks and you're seeing little guys, probably now they're big guys, pulling in the canoe, and it's exciting to for myself to be a witness to see the culture like that, because not a lot of people get a chance to really, I think, dig deep into the culture and to pull those identifying photos, which again must have been really a long time taking to be able to identify which ones you want to put there to give a good representation of of the canoe journey, because Gary says it all the time, and I know you talked about it all the time too. It's all about education, and it's all about Native people are diverse, very diverse, and so to be able to narrow it down to 40, I'm excited to see them, because I'm coming over.
Great, good. The main purpose of me taking photos was really just to be taking a photo history of what was happening at the time, at the place, and with what people. So 100 years from now, they'll see this event I went to. They're going to experience it because I want to share it with the world. Basically, is what I'm doing, is because images are very powerful, and so what I see, they see. And I've been a lot of places, and there's a lot of different photos from all over the United States. A lot of them are in black and white because I started in black and white, but this show's all in color and on canvas. But I have famous people in there that I've taken pictures of that no one's ever seen, like Teddy Kennedy, or people like B. Medicine, and a lot of our elders and a lot of our leaders. Like you said, a lot of those little kids I took pictures of at the National Indian Education Conference, they're probably the tribal leaders right now. If they saw that picture. So what I'm planning on doing is developing a website and uploading all my photos on there, and then seeing if people remember who's this, because Indian country gets small really quick. So they'll see those photos and say, "Oh yeah, that's my uncle, or that was my dad or my mom," back way when. So really, it's about photo history for me. It's really not about the artsy fartsy stuff that a lot of photographers get involved in, but you take so many photos, you do get those really nice artsy photos. Yeah. So, but my mission really is about photo history. So majority of my photos are just natural shots. Of course, sometimes I have to say, "Well, can I take your picture?" And because I am Native and because people know me, I don't have a hard time taking pictures of other Natives. But most people might have a problem with it because they don't know you. They're going to say, "Hey, don't be taking a picture of me. Yeah. I don't know you." So it's been a great experience. I haven't even looked at all my photos yet. I mean, they're just in piles and CDs and negatives, and I just started going through them this year after I retired. So it's probably going to take a couple, 2-3 years to go through all of it and then organize them, and then make some table books of different events and things like that. So
yeah, it's exciting when you talk about the photo history, and when they're up, and usually there's somebody in the crowd. You said like how you said, you get really small, and somebody will say, "Oh, I remember that," and then they'll tell you that story of that person, and I think that's exciting to be there. And again, I just like to be a witness myself, to hear the stories so we can pass them on to other folks. So those starting to get emotional. Just so that they know that we're still here, and that know your neighbors in your backyard. This is who they are, and you're showing that. The human part, that so much is taken away from that over the years. With all these memorials that are happening, and hearing stories about how it wasn't that hard for me because of those folks that went that way, that paved the way, and they have those stories for us to remember.
Well, if I may say, we as a Native people, we are definitely a resilient people. And I believe that the canoe journey really displays that. And Denny and I, we were very blessed to get to see Emmett Oliver at the canoe journey at Quinault. And it was on the beach, and Denny got a wonderful photo of him. So, Denny, if you'd like to talk about Emmett.
Yeah, that'd be was he 100 now, right?
Yeah, Emmett Oliver, who really was one of the key figures in bringing back the canoes back to the Northwest. He was also the former Indian Education Director for the state of Washington, and a great man. But thanks to him, we're celebrating the canoes again, and I was fortunate enough for me to be able to connect with him when him and his daughter drove by, and I said, "Hey, wait, stop! I gotta take your picture." And I say he's 100 years old, and he looked good. He's smiling. He had his canoe ring on, and actually, his photo is going to be the first photo in the exhibit because I want to honor him in that way for really helping us revive the canoe journey in the Northwest.
It's exciting that it went full circle too. You know, he'd be able to see it. You know, and he's still around, so you know, see many more. But I'm just saying that Quinault, you know, coming back that home, that must have been quite, you know, heart-taking.
Oh yeah, it's an awesome event if you've never been to it. But yeah, it's really about just sharing who we are as a people and educating people about, you know, we're still here, we're not going anywhere. You know, we're going to be neighbors forever. So let's kind of respect each other's diversity and get along and work towards a better world. Really, that's really what it's about. And that's as the retired Indian Ed director, you know, that was my mission, was really to build bridges, to be a diplomat, and to really try and pave the way to make it better for our kids, because there's just so much adversity out there between Indians and non-Indians that we got to get beyond that and really look at, you know, having a better world to live in, really.
Yeah.
You know.
The human to human, you know, that Robert Steichen always, when we talk, he's like, people got to get over the boogeyman, you know. We're not the boogeyman. And to know who we are, and like you just said, you know, neighbors. And I myself am a visitor here from I came from Florida, but I actually grew up in New York. But, you know, to know our neighbors, to, you know, have that heart to heart, and to be able to walk amongst, and then for myself to be a better steward, because the native folks have been here, and it's like we just lost Uncle Billy, and he used to always say, you know, we know these watersheds better than anybody. You need to start listening to us, and it is about making a better world. And Native people were here long before anybody else got here, and this is who we are. And so I think it's really important, the educational piece that's always there, because more and more people are coming to the state of Washington, and more people are not knowing the treaty law. They're not knowing who the people are. You know, all these factors come in, and so being able to show these images of the people, you know, I think is really a big piece, because we all know that we're 80% visual, and so when you see, oh wow, yeah, that's what, you know, I want to go experience that. And like Gary said it many times, and I've been saying it too, you know, in 2012 here in this backyard, we got a great gift. You know, the canoe journey came here, you know, and to go in to meet the people, it's really important to do. Right,
exactly. That's funny you mentioned Robert, because we ran into him in the ferry with him and Liz the other day, and he's like, "Oh, you're going on Raven's show. You can come to my show and talk on my radio station next week." So, but yeah, he has a good show too, you know, and he's about educating people about who we are, and because people don't know who we are. I mean, all they know about is what they see on TV or read in books, which is, you know, 90% inaccurate. And so that's why we went on the journey to develop our own curriculum, so we can teach kids about who we are and what we're about from our perspective. So.
Right. Too many people know what I call the Hollywood version and not know the real story, and that's why it's so important to be able to get these stories out so people can see them. And I know it's going to be at the Evergreen State College, and I'm excited also that it'll be at the Centennial Accord, because I'm going to help set up and stuff, and being able to see it and all the, you know, just to hear the stories, because I know there'll be stories around watching and looking at the photos and things, and to share those moments with those folks, because I've only been here 14 years, and I've been to just a couple of journeys.
Yeah, the people are going to be tripping out, because they're going to see photos about their canoe families from their tribes, and they're like, "Oh yeah, there's my granddaughter or my grandson, and oh, I remember this when this happened in 2002 or whatever," you know, because I started in 2002 and I ended in 2013. So it'd be interesting to see how people react to it.
Do you have anyone that really sticks out that you remember from the ones you're looking at that you're like, "Oh yeah, that was," you know?
Well,
Or is that all?
Emmett always comes to the forefront because of what he did, but there's just too many to. I would have to say probably the ones of my own kids, because that's why I wanted to go take pictures too, because I wanted to take the pictures of my son and my daughter paddling in the canoe too. So, but a lot of them are memorable. There's a lot of cool shots that we'll have to share another time because we couldn't use them all.
Well, what I was going to say was that we selected a few photos for the show, and one tribal member, he has an interesting T-shirt on, and is it like got fried bread? And that's classic for the canoe journey. So we thought we have to have that photo in the show.
Right. That's a great moments. And so it's about 4:30, and this is KAOS 89.3 FM here in Olympia. And Denny, also I know you said that you're just snapping, and I know that nobody just really, you got to know something about photography, because I point and shoot and mine don't come out that well sometimes. So can we talk a little bit about some the equipment that you use, and if there's a way that you do other than go, hey, I'm going to take a picture, or is there a method that you go through for those of us? I know Gary's listening, and he loves to take photos too, and it's an art form. It truly is, and I know it wasn't until like the late '90s where it really got the credibility of an art form. Because I went to an art school, and people that it really, it's definitely a form of art. It goes up there with the rest of them, because like I said, I snap pictures, and sometimes they come out really well, and sometimes they come out really blurry, and my wife's better than I am. So
well, I guess I'm like you, because a lot of times mine come out blurry. I don't claim to be a expert photographer. I'm a very amateur photographer. Like I said, I'm just really about taking a shot as natural as possible, and not be too invasive of people, but sometimes you have to be. And so going back to people know who I am, or maybe they can feel that I'm, a good person and get a good vibe, and they always let me take their picture. I don't think there's anyone, there was one elder lady in Rosebud Fair in 1972 that really didn't want me to take her picture. And so, but it was too late. I had already taken it before she cursed me and probably hexed me or what, I don't know. But I still have her picture, but I'll probably never show it in a book or anything, because I want to respect her privacy. But I kind of would like to get to know who she was.
Yeah.
There's a lot of pictures like that I don't know who they are, because I just shoot and leave. I had written notes and stuff, but over 40 years you lose all your notes and all your papers, and that's really the one reason why I got am back involved in photography was that I was going through my shed one day, and this was like about 14 years ago, and I opened this box, and there's the box of all my black and white negatives that I thought I had lost. This is about 35 rolls of film. Uh-huh. And then there were about 30 rolls of film in there that weren't even developed. And they've been in the shed for years, and I thought, well, what do I got to lose? I'm going to try and get them developed, see what comes out. And one roll was of my mother, who passed on years ago, with my daughter. Now she's a lot older, and they were just, she was a baby, and there was my mom, and it was like, wow, this is so cool, And then some other cool ones of other natives that I don't know who they were, but so then I thought, well, maybe I need to really start getting serious again and getting involved in doing what I wanted to do. So that's kind of how I got back into it. It was an accident again, because I had said I wasn't going to do it. I didn't have the time, or I didn't have the money, and then this showed up, and it was like, oh, this is a sign.
Yeah.
You have to do this. And so I started doing it again. So, I had a show at the the Washington State Museum in Tacoma, the one here in Olympia. I've won the Washington State Multicultural Education Photography Conference with a cool photo at the National Museum of American Indians procession. And so, it's just being at the right place at the right time, I guess. My photos are a movie of what I've been doing in my life, basically.
Yeah.
So if you look at my photos, you're going to go, oh, hey, Denny was here in Rosebud in 1971 and Gathering Nations in 2005 and, Akwesasne in 2010. That's how I'm documenting it.
We're going to know Denny traveled a lot of places over the years.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, too much, actually.
Yeah.
But
no, it's winded down a little bit, right?
Yeah. No, not with my photography. It's actually winding up. But,
yeah.
I think it's kind of cool starting to go through them and seeing these images that I forgot about,
That's why me and Mystique were laughing when she said you were going to retire.
Yeah. Well, I'm retired, but it's stuff that I want to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so it's been nice.
Yeah.
But, yeah. I don't claim to, I don't even know. My images are of what's happening at the time, and hopefully it gives the image that I want to share with people. This is what's happening this day with these people. So I really wish I could have had more time with the photo exhibit, 'cause then I could ask people, well, whose canoe family is this that I'm putting in the exhibit? I know what paddle it was. It was the one that came to Muckleshoot in 2005. But I don't know who they all are. Because they're coming through the locks in Ballard. And there's like 15 canoes down there. Let's see, when people start to see it, they say, oh yeah, there's Skok, there's Nisqually, there's Lummi, there's they say, oh yeah, we're here.
What would be neat to do is like get all your photos together and then do like a presentation, invite the canoe families to come, the ones that can, and I'm sure you'll get them identified.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. It'd be fun.
Yeah. I probably could just get a couple guys like George Adams and Mike Pable to come and look at these, and they say, oh yeah, this is so and so, and that's that. They would know that, but see, it's a matter of time right now. I was trying to get this done, but before I had to do this, I had to write 2 chapters for 2 different national books, and that stressed me out because I don't like to write. But I let people twist my arms. Oh, well, you're retired now. You can write about it. No, I don't want to. No, yes, we have to. So I did, and I did that. Then I jumped into the photography exhibit. And so, yeah, right, I'm not really retired per se, but, I'm doing things that I want to do and things that have to be done.
Yeah, and still the educational component is there always, and that's what myself grateful that you do, because it's really super important for us all to continue to educate, because I was just telling a buddy of mine yesterday that I think America has a short-term memory when it comes to Native people, and that we have to continue to let people know who we are, and not the version that they show, the real one, that the things that are happening. And that's one of the reasons why I go on radio, to help bring these stories out. I'm still waiting for the right person to come and want to talk a little bit about the history here. And I know you touched base with it with the time of memorial, which I wanted you just to kind of recap. I know that was something that you put together and that you retired from it, but this for folks that want to get a good overview of real history, Native history, that program you put, I know that our school at Lincoln School participates in it, and I think everybody should across the nation.
Right. Well, it was designed by the State Department of Education, OSPI, specifically our office, the Office of Native Education, and it was really about educating people about who we are, our history, our culture, our language, our government. and it's designed to, we develop units, 23 units for the curriculum. It's all aligned with the state standards and the Common Core standards, which is a requirement. And it's aligned with the GLEs. It's all. There's no excuse for any teacher not to use it, short of them not respecting us as a people, or maybe other reasons. Like I know teachers have an issue with time, because you only have so much time in a day, and usually what gets knocked out is like social studies, where we teach about our history, our civics to our country. So. But it was designed to educate all students about who we are as sovereign nations. And it's all online. It's all free. There's amazing video streaming in there, elders talking about different facets of our life and our governments. And I would encourage all you listeners out there to go check it out. It's www.ed.org, and there's a ton of resources in that curriculum site. Now, it's designed K-12, but really it could be K-20, and someone could do their doctoral dissertation just from using our site.
I use a lot of the articles and things that you've gathered on there, and I direct people to that area. Reference as a reference point, because it's beautifully done. What I like the most, what I like really the most is the image of the log, and how the
timeline.
And how you can see where it's stressed, and you click a little red dot on there, and it'll tell you what was happening in that time.
Right. And
then you can from there go to more reference points from that point.
Right. Yeah. It's easy to use, anyone could use it.
Yeah, all right. So I appreciate that. So I wanted to just also give you a chance are you going to, when you do the opening, I know it takes a lot of hands. Do you need any help setting things up, or, what can we do other than show up?
Well, thank you for your assistance, and I'm sure that we will need your help. Tina and I and Denny and a few others will be meeting and finalizing the details, but we will definitely stay in contact with you, and we want to make this a very successful event, just in terms of sharing the canoe journey. And then also, I think it'll be great to see the tribal leaders there who, will be representing all the tribes here in the state of Washington. And I'm just very excited, and I believe that, Tina Miller has been very, very good, and would like to see this be a successful event. And so we will definitely stay in contact with you, and we really appreciate your offer to help.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm excited that it's going to be coming to Evergreen, and that it's really close, for people to be able to come and see and partake. And it's also a good way for folks that to get an introduction to Indian country that have not, for whatever reason, haven't made that an option. And so this is a great opportunity, again, for people to come in to the Evergreen State College campus here at the Longhouse and meet other Native people, and also it's a history. It's definitely a history that's happening. We're gonna be able to sit there and, wow, I know that I work for the state library, and I was able to get I actually had a PDF. I probably should send it to you of the actual document in Seattle that they sent out with all the. It was like 20 pages of the canoe families, and I was like, wow, I didn't know this, and I was reading, and and they were told that they couldn't do that, and they still did it, and they invited all the other tribes from Canada, and it was huge success. That's what you talked about, the resilience. Yeah.
Definitely resilience. We know that word too well. And, I think that, I have served as the former executive director for affiliated tribes of Northwest Indians and also former executive director for, which is today WIGA, but it used to be the Northwest Alliance of Gaming Tribes. But, it's, from my point of view, it's been very exciting to see what the tribes are doing today, how far they've come, what they're doing in economic development, and what they're doing with our youth, with the canoe journeys. A lot of the tribes participate in the canoe journeys now, and so I think this is a really good time for our people, but also at the same time it's a challenge. And so, for example, the canoe journey, I know that it's a cultural connection, not only for our people, our native people, but also the bigger picture, the general public, and just them participating and coming to learn about us. I think that's very good.
Yeah. Are you going to Bella Bella this year or no?
No, Bella Bella's too far. It's
very
a pretty
remote.
Small community. You got to camp out the whole time.
Yeah, I'm told that you fly into a little spot and then from there,
Right.
yeah. But I know that there's a lot of folks that are going to be heading up.
Oh,
but like you said,
I mean, the only reason I didn't do the Canadian ones is because I didn't get the time off of work to go do those. So that's why my focus on this canoe journey is the ones that were all hosted by U.S. tribes, the last 9. So not the last 9, but 9 of the last canoe journeys were in the U.S. So I have pictures of all those. But you said you want volunteers and all that. I said, no, we just want you to come and learn, and don't be afraid. I mean, we're people. We're good people. We want you to come and share with us what we know, and maybe make a better place to live in.
That's so right on. Like that's what I try to let people know. Like, don't be afraid. Come and partake and to learn. I think that's a big thing. And for me, like I continue learning how to be a better steward. And the more that I come to these events and see the culture, and people living it, and then the ones that share, it's most everyone, that I've come in contact with. But like you said, there are some that didn't want that picture taken back there, but I've never come across that. I've come across the people always open and their heart's huge, and they want you to know what's going on and to be a better. To me, this is the information you're getting, and you're becoming a better person. And I only have a problem when you don't use the wisdom that's been given to you, and then you continue to act that way. Especially when the people are so open and so giving, and they want to learn and hear where we want to move together as a people.
Yeah. Well, I always say that relationships is key to anything we do. The relationship we have with Mother Earth, the relationship we have with our spouses, our girlfriends, our children, our co-workers. That's the most important thing to me in life. And that's what I try to tell young people. The most important thing you can do is to try and develop good relationships with everything that you do. Because if you do, then things will get better. But if you don't try that, then it's not going to work. More importantly for Native people is because of our history. And we've had, at first it was good, then it became really bad, adversarial. We had wars, all that. And so we're having to build bridges with people to educate them on who we really are. It's like with the boat decision. They all got mad at us because we won half the fish when we had 100% of it in the beginning, and we gave up half. And so it's really about educating those people about who we really are and how that really happened. It wasn't, we don't have any special rights. We've always had these rights.
Right.
And they were affirmed in treaties made between two sovereigns. And if people understood their history and their government, they would understand that, hey, that's as viable as anybody else does anything in this world. They have their sovereign nations, they have their agreements, they have this and that, and you have to respect that. Right. And so most people don't know who we are, you know. I was a teacher. I was a substitute teacher, and I was teaching in Shelton, and it was a kindergarten class. And, of course, I walked in there, long hair, big Indian, and all the little kids are like looking at me, wow, who's this? So I'm your teacher. I said, really, an Indian? I said, yeah. And there's one little non-Indian girl. She was about 5 years old. Boy, she feared me. And she didn't come near me. She was afraid of me, and I kind of understood why, you know, because I'm thinking, well, she must have heard something about Indians from her parents or grandparents or whatever. That's usually how it happens. And then she seen how nice and loving I was with the other kids. By the afternoon, this little girl was hugging on to me, you know, saying, oh, I really like you. And blah, blah. But see, that's developing a relationship with this little girl.
Yeah.
Where before she probably thought I was a wild Indian and I was going to kill her or something, you know. Yeah. And so people think like that.
But you have that respect, you know, and that's what I've been... A lot of times when I'm out, especially when I travel on the bus, that respect isn't there. You know, people already assume, oh, we thought we got rid of all you folks, and like, no, and you know, like constantly it was like, they, you know, you didn't give any rights to anybody. They reserved the rights the ancestors did to do these things, and you know, you were granted permission. You know, you're a visitor here, you know, and so, and the native people are all around us, and you know, live up the road here. You know, let's go visit your neighbors. You know, Squats and Nisqually. You know, Skok and all these places that you know we can visit. And again, going back to the education piece, that you know, people do. It's hard to even think. You know, 2014 don't understand Native people, and I tried to tell another folk the other day that. Not mentioning names, there's people that come across, and we're just talking about how you have to build that relationship. And if you knew the real history, you wouldn't be so pushy to want that connection right away. You know, if you know, I couldn't imagine somebody coming to my house and grabbing all my medicine, taking it away, and taking my kids, saying I could do it a better way. And you know, that's just one thing that happened. This, you know, the combat trauma that I call it, that happened to Native people across the board, they're living with. And so you have to build that relationship, and that, again, coming out to this event would be one of those ways to build a relationship, and they get to know you, and you know that you aren't going to, you know, do something to them, because that's usually what has always happened. Right. And then the general public, most of them, I will say, don't know that.
Yeah. Yep. It's about getting to know us, and don't be afraid, because you know we're good people.
Yeah. All right. So we got about 10 more minutes. I just wanted to recap this. It's June 17th is the reception. Is that at night? 7 o'clock at night?
That's 5 to 7 p.m.
Uh-huh. At the Longhouse? At the
Longhouse.
And that's when the public gets to view the art show. Right. The 18th is probably dedicated to the tribal leaders and the state government people and their invitees. So, well, they probably come straddle through and look around, you know, but there will be a meeting going on at the same time.
Absolutely. And so June 17th, 5 to 7 p.m., Evergreen State Longhouse at 2700 Evergreen Parkway here at in Olympia.
Correct. And then from there, the exhibit will be going over to the Squaxin Island Tribes Museum.
All right. And that's after the 18th?
Correct.
Okay. we'll hear more from that. And then, is there anything else on the horizon for you?
On the horizon?
Want to sing us a song?
No, I mean, I really want to start looking at my photos on the National Museum of American Indians, because I kind of want to have a show there in Washington, D.C. on the procession. So when that happened, I lucked out and got a press pass, and so I got to be in the very front of the procession when all the tribes from all over the world came through that procession. So I have some pretty awesome photos of that day.
Oh, the spirits are working through you. You're right up front.
Yeah. Well, that'll be later, and we'll probably have a show here at Evergreen too on that, but we'll let you know about that later.
All right. Again, I appreciate you both coming and sharing an hour and sharing with our relatives, and I'm excited. I'm definitely will be. I'll probably be at both things because I get to volunteer at the Centennial Court. I help out every year that I can.
All right.
Well, thank you, and we appreciate all the work that you're doing on behalf of Native people. So, Haishka Siam, that means thank you, my friend, in the Lummi language.
All right. Thank you both, and I appreciate it. And we'll play a song on the way out here, and let's see what we'll get here. We'll